Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Kingston Western families rocked by killing of 2 young men. The families in Kingston Western are battling grief and trauma after 2 young men, ages 17 and 20, were gunned down hours apart on Monday evening. Joanna Williams told the news that her son, Jermaine Mackenzie, a 17-year-old student of Tivoli Gardens High, did not heed her plea to not leave the yard because of a gut feeling. The Tivoli Gardens resident said her son, a footballer, ventured to Denham Town for a community league game. No stranger to the space in Denham Town, known as John Crow Town, she said that Mackenzie always believed that warring factions would not harm him because he is a child and they did not get involved in wrongdoing. I tell him don't go and him still go, an emotional Williams said. Him go because him a baller and him trust everybody and say him not dead. Me no in no badness, so me feel free for walk. Him always go visit him friends them, who him and them go see him school, said her sister Anisha Dean. They described the youngster as a very respectful, athletic and jovial. They told her the news that he was shot in the head and abdomen. The little youth begged for him life and all urinate on himself and them still kill him, Dean said, adding that her nephew struggled with a speech impediment throughout his life. Jermaine's grandmother, Janet Powell, said the war between Tivoli Gardens and the Denham Town has been raging for years, but the Denham Town gangsters have been killing women and children. The family said they have also not recovered from the loss of a 16-year-old relative who was killed a year ago. And added to that, they also have the funeral of a 17-year-old neighbor who was killed in April along Alberta Street in Denham Town. An 8-year-old boy told the news that he is fearful because a lot of youngsters are dying around him. I feel bad and I cry. I am afraid. I cry. All in my sleep, me I dream about my uncle. I can't forget him, the lad said, adding that his uncle's murder 4 years ago still haunts him. Dean said that when she heard the explosions sometime after 9 p.m., she was unaware it was her relative being killed. Them just a kill out the next generation. The youth them went off fire gun and free to walk, and them are dead off, she said, crying. The police said they were earlier summoned to Gem Road off Maxfield Avenue about 7:30 p.m., also on Monday, where 20-year-old Tyreek McLeish was gunned down. McLeish also attended Tivoli Gardens High School. His mother, Margarita Rainford, was inconsolable as she sat on her bed speaking to the news. Rainford said she ran outside when she heard the gunshot to find her son, the second of her 3 children, on his face. The mother said she took him up and held him against her, where he uttered the final words, "Mommy, I love you." Next week is his birthday, the 26th. No light no dep on the street from the hurricane, and him and him father just fixed the light. Same time me hear blam blam, and me run out in a the shot them, Rainford said, adding that McLeish's eyes shut while he was in her arms. On Tuesday, she was clutching a pair of sneakers she had purchased as a surprise gift for his birthday. I go Monday and buy it for his birthday. Tyreek no disrespect people, no matter who. Tyreek have manners to everybody, Rainford said through tears. She said he did construction work to be independent and support his 4-year-old son. Rainford believes that her son was targeted because of his association with everybody in the space. Him ride him bike, him look him girl. The gun thing, him no tangle up in a them something there, a tearful Rainford said. The Kingston Western police are probing both the murders. Corporate era man scammed after being promised overseas employment. A corporate era man was reportedly duped out of thousands of dollars after being promised secured employment through an online work and travel program. The man, whose case was being heard before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court, said he received a phone call from a representative of the program asking for individuals interested in being placed in jobs overseas. The man said he had initially told the person on the phone that he had no recommendations but was swayed when he received another call. He told the court that after consulting with his mother, he decided to take a chance on the program and was directed to transfer a sum of money to a specific individual. I said to my mother, this person sounds legit. It don't sound like a scam. And she said if it sounds like a good opportunity, I should go ahead. And so I sent them the money, the complainant expressed. He then shared that after expectations regarding the program were not met, he contacted the bank and was directed to someone he believed his money was paid over to. That individual, who was present in court, denied all accusations. Senior Parish Judge Sanchez Burrell, clearly annoyed after hearing several previous cases with a similar storyline, charged the police to do more public awareness campaigns surrounding scamming. She expressed that with a high volume of fraud cases coming before the court, individuals ought to be properly sensitized on the difference between the modus operandi of criminal elements and legit business companies. So it's easy to get people money? There has to be some public education around this issue from the police's end. Every day we have the same problems in this court. People are just sending their money to people. This is abject lunacy, she said. Gone are the days when people holding you up on halfway through the road with knife and gun and tell you to give them money. They are sticking you up online. Don't make it so easy, the judge added. The complainant, having admitted that he has never met the person with whom he had been corresponding, was slapped with a harsh reality after Burrell shared that sadly some victims will never reclaim monies paid over to individuals online because it is difficult for the Crown to make some of the cases. Nevertheless, we will try our best to give you justice, or else people will start to try these cases out in the streets, and we know what that looks like. But you make it so hard for us to prosecute these cases when you are sending your money blindly, Parish Judge Burrell said. The matter was sent for trial, providing the court with additional time to acquire evidence. Man remanded after allegedly using board to beat a neighbor during dispute over garbage. A 34-year-old man will have to spend the next few months behind the bars after an argument between himself and a neighbor reportedly turned physical, resulting in the woman being badly beaten. The man, who is employed to a popular call center in Kingston, and the woman, a hairdresser, reportedly got into a heated argument over garbage that was discarded in a bin they shared. The court heard that the woman was instructed by the man not to throw garbage in the bin, but did not heed the warnings. On the morning the events unfolded, it is alleged that the man proceeded to empty the bin at the woman's doorway after she disobeyed his instructions another time. The female complainant said after emerging from her home to find the garbage at her doorstep, she proceeded to place it back in the bin but was confronted by the defendant. During their heated exchange, the man reportedly used a piece of board to beat the woman all over her body. Senior Parish Judge Sanchez Burrell, having heard of the young man's profession, quizzed the defendant on the reason behind his extreme reaction to their dispute. The man revealed that during the argument, the complainant spat on him. But having witnessed the complainant limping into the courtroom, Burrell shared that if that were the case, spit for spit should have been the normal reaction. She spat on you when you use a piece of board to pulverize her? That was an extreme reaction, don't you think? The judge said. A fingerprint order and a social inquiry report was requested by the judge, while a court date was set for October. He was then remanded into custody. Burrell then expressed that she would be open to a bail application, but the defendant would have to find another place to live, especially after the complainant revealed that threats were allegedly made by the defendant's knife-toting gunmen alliances. Emergency surgeries only at Mandeville Hospital amid water woes. Surgeries at the Mandeville Regional Hospital in the South Central Parish have been reduced to emergencies only due to issues with a piped water supply following the passage of Hurricane Beryl 2 weeks ago. Chief Executive Officer at the hospital, Alwyn Miller, told the news that the move follows issues with electricity supply to wells and the pumping facilities in neighboring St. Elizabeth. Surgeries are being done, but only emergencies, only at this time. The reason is for infection control. Surgeries require a constant supply of water, Miller said on Tuesday. The Pepper Well field downslope at a low altitude in St. Elizabeth is the main source of water for Mandeville, which is more than 2,000 feet above sea level atop the Manchester Plateau. We get water partially, but not sufficiently. We got water primarily from St. Elizabeth, and I understand that the power supply to the wells down there have not been restored as yet, so we still have to be trucking water. The hurricane disrupted the power supply, hence water to Mandeville generally, Miller said. The hospital's electricity was restored 4 days after the storm. However, with the Jamaica Public Service reporting that it could take up to a month to restore power across St. Elizabeth, Mandeville and its environs, these areas remain without adequate water supply. Miller said water conservation is being encouraged among staff. We have to manage the provision of water to the different units in order to allow it to be able to meet the demand, so we can't go giving everybody the usual full supply. It is always more efficient to pipe water than to truck it. We are not getting all that we need, but we are managing, he said. We have gotten support from NWC. They truck us some of what we want, and we have to pay for the difference that we are able to get, added Miller. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.